Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find anything about me, go to MySpace where I have a page. This is a video I might call something called the Advent of the Babymaker. What women need to know about males that is very important and something that could save you from a life of misery or getting impregnated when you're not ready. You need to be aware that there are males out there in this world who get a kick out of, let's just say, knocking some woman up. That's exactly how they get their kicks. To me, it should be a crime. But unfortunately, there's no such laws, and that would be something very difficult to enforce, I suppose, anyway, because you'd have to prove that if a certain guy impregnated a woman out of wanted marriage, of course, you'd have to prove that that was his intent all along, that this is how he gets his kicks. But there are men out there who do get kicked out of that. That's part of their sexual thrills, or how they get their sexual thrills, to be very blunt. And women need to be aware of that. There are men out there who get kicked out of, who go on the prowl, looking for a woman of a certain class, certain race, and maybe even a certain religion to impregnate, because that's just how they get their kicks. It gives them the sexual thrill that they're looking for. And that probably means they have very high sex drives. And again, it should be a crime. And now some people might ask, well, how do these men do this and then not get stuck with all this child support? Well, unfortunately, most men don't pay child support, in such situations. Usually they're too poor to anyway. Or usually the woman doesn't want to even want anyone to know that she was knocked up by some guy or a particular person. But yeah, there are men out there like that. I can remember in the 80s, I remember a couple of guys that I worked with in Vegas and in Denver who actually got their thrills by that. They made no secret of it. They would simply put their sights on a particular woman. They would even go out with them even up to a year, whatever it took to knock them up. They would pay the price. And then they would take off. The other thing women need to be aware of, especially married women, is that there are some guys out there, just like there are some women out there as well, who get their sexual thrill after sleeping with somebody else's wife or husband. I don't think that's exactly a big secret. But they actually do that. I remember a guy named Sid Merzel, a Russian Jew, who used to just brag about his exploits, about that he slept with this man's wife, he slept with that man's wife. And I guess he was telling the truth, because every now and then we'd see him driving down the road there in Denver with another man's wife. Exactly what he said was happening. But that's how he got his thrills. That's how he got his kicks. He may be in a grave by now, in a cemetery by now, because this was in the early 80s, and eventually, you're going to get caught, or you're going to get shot. No other way around it. So that's just something I think would reduce a lot of pregnancies in America and the abortion rate, is if women got a little bit smarter and realized that every guy is potentially a baby maker. That is someone who is looking to impregnate whoever he can, or impregnate a particular woman. Just like I remember as a kid, there were two girls, 14 years old, who lost their virginity to a guy who was about 31 years old up in Alabama. I was in northern Florida at the time. And I think I was like 14 myself. And as soon as he got took away their virginity, he disappeared. I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. I just remember the girls talking about it, and they got really taken big time. So the point I'm trying to make is that there are men out there who get their sexual kicks by knocking up women, going after a certain girl and getting her virginity, and by sleeping with some man's wife. On the sleeping, of course, there are women I've known who do the very same thing. Just like I remember a girl in high school who actually went and got impregnated by this married man. She was just determined to have his baby one way or another. She didn't want to marry him. She just wanted to have his baby. And she did. Then she married another guy. Go figure. And he was married at the time. So it goes both ways sometimes. But I believe if the pro-life people want to reduce abortions in America, women have to get smarter. They have to stop letting themselves be taken advantage of this way. And you just have to be aware that there are guys out there like that, and they will go to any extent that they can, and they'll pay almost any price to succeed. Somehow, that's how they get their sexual thrills. I can't explain it. None, not at all. Hope this enlightens you some, and thank you for your time.